You must be Miranda.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
I'm
meet you.
Emma. So, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good. That's good. So I understand that you have an issue that you wanted to come and speak to me about today.
Yeah, so I'm not really one for canceling, and I really wouldn't come in here if I had any other choice, but this just is a problem that's been eating me up for some time now, and I just couldn't hold it in any longer,
Okay.
and I just really thought this was the best option for me right now.
Okay.
So, I'm just recently got engaged about a month ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We were dating for about, I say, a year, 2 years before we got engaged, and we knew each other as friends before that for about 10 years. We were really good friends.
Okay.
And we know everything about each other. We're really close, me and Tom. And we're really close. Anyways, we know everything about each other. We're really close to each other's families.
Mm-hmm.
And we've never really had any relationship problems, and we really don't have any problems.
Mm-hmm.
But our whole life has basically been revolved around getting married, you know, the typical fairy tale life, getting married, having kids, just growing up and like having a beautiful home and white picket fence and children.
Yeah.
And that's just basically our whole life has been just talking about this, just since we knew each other. Before we were even dating, we were talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, I was having some problems with my period, and I was having tests done, and I recently found out I was having some fertility problems.
Okay.
So I'm not totally infertile, but pretty much infertile.
Okay, so the doctor has told you that there's a slim chance, basically, that you're able to have kids.
Yeah, but I'm pretty much not going to be able to have my own children.
Wow.
Now, I haven't told Tom about this yet
Okay.
because I don't want to. I think that he's not going to want to marry me anymore,
Mm-hmm.
because why would he? Why would he want to marry me if he knows that I can't have children? Why wouldn't he want to leave me and go with someone who could? Why would he want to go through all the problems with maybe, you know, it's just going to be so much more work now. We might have to adopt, I know there's other options other than, like, you know, the normal,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just going to be a lot more work than the
So
normal.
you don't want to tell him about this?
No.
So you're feeling just scared?
Yeah. I think he's going to not want to marry me anymore.
Well, that's really discouraging, and yeah, it almost makes you feel inferior.
Yeah, and I think that it would just be so much easier for him to go and find someone where the fairy tale could happen so much easier. Because in our fairy tale, it was never written in there that, you know, like artificial insemination or IVF or surrogates and adoption, that's not in, like,
You
all
always
that
wanted
work.
the normal, you know.
Yeah, and I don't think that he would be okay with all this extra work that it's going to have to be put in now, and it's not always an easy option. All these other, like the cost.
No, it's not easy. No.
Yeah. And it's just.
And it costs a lot of money to get those procedures done.
And it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
So.
So being that you already have a slim chance, and then there's a slim chance that these procedures will work, so it's just kind of very discouraging, and
It is.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just don't think that he's gonna. Why would he want to stay with me when he could just find easier ways out.
So do you think that he would leave and
I don't know. I don't. Why? Like, I don't know. I don't want him to leave. I know that. I don't. That's why I don't want to tell him.
Mhm.
Like, I could just go forever
Yeah.
and just not tell him, and we'll still be together,
Mhm.
but then I'm lying to him.
But you know you don't want to lie, and
No.
you know that he really wants kids. So
He does want kids,
you're
and I
scared
want
to.
kids. And
Yeah.
so
But like you said, there are other options.
there is, yeah. But like I said, they don't always work. They're costly.
Mhm.
It's a lot of time. It's a lot of effort. And maybe he doesn't want to put in the money. He doesn't want to put in the effort. Like, I don't know. I don't know if he'll want to stick around for all that.
Mhm.
It's just, it might put a huge strain on our relationship. We might not be as close anymore. And we were friends before we were lovers. So,
Mhm. So you knew each other for a very long time.
yeah. So we might not, it may put a strain on that. And I don't want to lose, like, a husband and a friendship. I'm
Mhm.
scared of that.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's a lot on the line with
Mhm.
this, as well as me not being able to carry my own child. Like, this is just,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
It can be so upsetting for even just yourself.
Yeah.
In general, like, and then you also have to think about what will he think. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of stress, even just on you.
Yep.
Mhm.
I'm just scared to bring it up at all. I don't know. It's just really scary.
That is very scary.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I really haven't even told anybody yet.
You haven't told anybody?
No.
No.
No. I'm just holding it on myself right now and just been carrying this around for some time.
Wow. So it's just bottled up and
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like I need to tell somebody before I just let it eat away at me, just knowing that.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just,
So you just feel like this guilt and it's just the whole situation. It's just completely eating away at you, and you're just so scared to tell your fiance about this.
yeah, I am. And I'm just, like, what will my parents think too? Like, I know they always wanted grandchildren as well.
Yeah.
And
It's another stressful thing to think about.
yeah, and if I have to adopt, what if I can't, like, if I can't pay for it, like IVF or artificial insemination and stuff, like, that's a lot of
those
money.
things can be very, very expensive.
Or if, with artificial insemination, like, what if I can't carry it? Like, I can't carry my own kids, and I just keep losing it, and my body can't handle it, and maybe my body can't handle carrying a child, and then it's not my own flesh and blood. What will my parents think?
But you don't know, right? You really don't know what outcome there will be, right? Because you haven't talked to anybody.
Yeah. I'm just feeling really anxious all the time. At nighttime, I'm not sleeping properly. I'm just feeling a lot of, like, I'm having dreams of children and just that life, and I'm just, I don't know. I'm scared of losing everything.
It's just a life that you guys have always dreamed about, wanted, and now you're scared that whole scenario might be taken from you with this situation.
Yeah. Yeah. And I haven't even told my best friend. Like, what is she gonna think when she finds out? Knows that I've been holding on to this for so long and haven't told her. Is she going to feel
What would she
betrayed?
think?
I don't know. Like, she might feel so betrayed that I didn't tell her. Maybe then I'll lose her as well. Like, I don't know.
There's so many different scenarios to think about.
Yeah. It's not good.
No, that's very that's something that's very difficult to go through.
Yeah. It's just rough knowing that I'm the problem in the relationship now too. And even if I do talk to Tom and he does agree to other options of impregnation and having children, having the child, knowing that maybe it's not me, like if we do get a surrogate, it'll be part him, but it won't be part me. It's just, that's another rough, like kind of scary to think about too. How will that affect my relationship with the child? How will like, what happens there? I don't, there's just so much to think about with that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you're feeling very anxious about all of this.
Yeah.
And you really have to, try to come up with a solution so you can, feel a little bit better about each scenario, right?
I mean, I guess I could just talk to Tom and maybe not tell him, but just put out there that if it was the case, well, how would he think about it? And just kind of maybe get him kind of acquainted to the idea that it is a possibility that this could happen.
Yeah, you don't know what his reaction to it will be yet.
Yeah. Can tell.
Really don't know.
We could just maybe talk about other options, see how he feels, and maybe then I can get him comfortable with the thought that maybe our fairy tale, there's other ways for the fairy tale to happen, and it's not always a happily ever after, but it can be in other ways.
Yeah.
And that just because this one bump in the road doesn't mean it has to just come crumbling down, that we could find other ways and make good of a situation.
Yeah, he might actually come around to the idea of different options to have children.
Yeah. I know that we would love any child just the same. It's just tough.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, when you go your whole life thinking that something's going to be one way and then it goes another, it's always kind of just, it's tough to grasp the thought.
Tough to get used to thinking about those different options.
It's always just scary to, what's going on in your head, but you don't always know what's going on in someone else's. So I know that I can survive it, but like, can Tom? That's my biggest worry in this.
Your biggest worry really is how will Tom react to you telling him this.
Yeah. And then with my parents, how will they take it? I know they always want to be grandparents. They're just like Tom with the happily ever afters and the fairy tales, and they want to be grandparents, but like, I know we will have kids no matter what. I know that. If it's adoption, surrogacy, like, I want children, fostering. We will have children and we will love them just the same. I will love them just the same. It's just, I need to make sure that everyone else will too. Yeah. I think my best bet is just to talk to Tom.
Yeah, that might, your best bet might be just to talk and see how he feels about it.
Yeah.
And see what his opinions on it are.
Yeah. I know that Tom's a good guy. He's always been there with me through everything. It's just scary. That's all.
It is scary.
It is. But in the end, he wants to marry me. And that's through everything. So.
Through thick and thin.
Yep. So hopefully he will be there through thick and thin. And that's all that matters. And if he isn't, then I guess that's the universe's way of saying that it wasn't meant to be, I guess. And then But I don't think that's how it's gonna be. I think that Tom's the one, and
Yeah.
we'll make it through it.
Yeah. I think you'll make it through and come up with a solution.
I think so. I think that he'll agree that this is not the end of us, and that this isn't the end. We'll find a way.
So, you think you'll find a way? You think talking will help with
Yeah.
all of this, and
I think so.
communicating with Tom about how you're feeling, and
Yeah. Well, I know that holding it all into myself is definitely not going to do anything. I know that talking to you definitely has helped me come to terms with just getting it at least off my chest. I know that when I was holding it in, I was just in my head too much, and
it's good to talk about it.
it is good to talk about it and just think of my options and
Yeah.
yeah.
It's good to think of all those different options that you could
Yeah.
give a try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to him about, I'll have to let him talk about his problems too. I know that he's going to be scared, and I can't let that scare me off either. I know that he's going to have
Yes.
some worries and concerns, and it's going to scare him just as much as it scared me.
Yeah.
And I'll have to let him cope his way and not let that scare me off. I think that's
Yeah.
the end either.
Yeah, you'll have to let him, come to terms with it the same way that you have been trying to.
Yeah. And he'll probably be a little mad at me for not filling them in sooner, which I don't blame him, but I had to process this in my own way.
Yeah.
You never know. I still don't know. It may come to the ends where I may be able to carry my own baby. I may be able to be artificially inseminated, and we may have our own child.
Yeah, you never know what will happen.
Yeah, we still have other options. It's just scary.
Yeah.
That's really it. It's just scary.
Scary. Talking and letting Tom come to terms with it will
Yeah.
help.
That's really all we can do is just communicate and figure it out. No, it's not going to get anywhere if we don't discuss it, I guess.
Yeah. So you feel like you'll go home and talk to Tom about it?
Yeah, I will. I'll go home and I'll talk to Tom. We'll discuss our options. I'll discuss my feelings with him. I'll let him discuss his feelings with me. We'll discuss our options. And then when we both feel ready, we'll let our parents know about the problem, and then we'll make a doctor's appointment and see our options from there.
Yeah. Yeah, just make a doctor's appointment and see exactly what they think
Yeah.
the chances are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully he's okay with this all and he stays with me. If not, I don't see Tom as the guy to leave me, I guess, but
Yeah, you don't think Tom would leave over
No.
something like this?
but there's always that fear, that he'll find someone better and that he could do it the easy way and use the easy way out, but I don't think Tom would do that to me. It's just there's always that fear,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll just go home and I'll talk to Tom.
That might be the best option
Yeah.
in the situation.
Thank you,
To
Doctor.
talk to Tom.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. I hope that your talk with Tom goes well. And if there is anything else that you would like to come and see me and talk to me about, again, after you have the conversation with Tom and your parents and the doctors,
Yeah.
then I would love for you to come and make an appointment and come and talk to me about it.
Yes. I will. I have your number. I have your card. I'll be in touch.
Okay, perfect. So thank you very much, Miranda, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.